You're also leading by example, and you're showing the rest of the team members that their goals are not linear and black and white just because they have this job.
Hi, you guys. I'm Kate here with Northwest, and today I'm here with our Client Experience Director, Naomi. Naomi, what do you think leaders get wrong when they're developing their team members?
I think that what happens is you get in this role of developing and you feel that it's linear and that it's only within like a customer service rep, for example, us, to a manager, to a director, right? Like that it's just there. And I think that's not necessarily right. I think being a good leader and developing your people is really finding what that person's passion really is, whether it's within the role that you hired them into or whether it's within a role somewhere else, even outside of the company, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's really the core of developing and being able to be a good leader with the people that you're helping support.
Do you find that's ever counterintuitive for other managers?
I think that if you're thinking very linear, it might be because, again, sometimes you're in that mindset of like, well, you got hired for this and your next logical step is to do this, right? Mm-hmm. Depending on, you could be like a person answering the phones and then the next is to be an administrative person and then the next is, whatever. It really depends on your business. But if you're thinking linearly like that, then that's where it doesn't feel intuitive when someone like me is saying, no, like if you're going to develop your people, ask them what they really want. And it could be something outside of this role. It could be something within the company and the organization that we're working in, or it could be something totally radical, like something outside of the company. Mm-hmm. That's being a good leader. That's development.
Okay, can you think of a specific time where this has happened with one of your team members?
I hired this person, incredible culture fit, really good with the rest of the team members, really amazing on the phone with customers. And so after training, onboarding, it had really been about 1.5 years of just cruise control, really great. I got to know them really good. I was going to our one-on-one conversations that we have, to develop, coach, train, learn about them, develop them in their career. And what I started noticing is that their energy levels were different, a little low. Like we have trust within each other, right? Mm-hmm. I said, you're really good at your job. You're doing all this really great. What is going on? You're not talking about the things you like to do outside of work anymore. I don't see you drawing and doing the stencils that you like to do. What's going on? And they said that they just were putting so much energy into being on at work and being good with customers, being good with the team and being good with that all that energy was being spent there and they were losing interest in all these other things that they didn't have energy to do all these things outside of work. And I thought, well, that's not right. Like, what are we doing right? I want to fix it, right?
Yeah.
Like, am I overworking you? What's going on, you know? And as we kept having that conversation, they said, well, I just feel that as a responsible adult, I need to have a job that pays me a paycheck. But if I'm being honest, it's not fulfilling me.
Wow. Was that hard for you to hear as their manager?
Well, yeah, because selfishly, they're an amazing worker. Yeah. And I thought that we were giving them everything that they needed to be happy, right?
Yeah,
and
they seemed happy.
That's that moment where you're like, well, what are your dreams, right? And eventually, after a couple of conversations, right, it took a minute, they said that their true dream was to be a tattoo artist.
Wow.
And they were really good artistically. And so I said, well, why don't you set a goal on how you can get there, or at least that first step? And they were like, what, really? And I said, well, yeah, you have to follow your dreams, but we have to set a plan and we can have a timeline. And so eventually they said, okay, this is what I have to do. And so I said, perfect. As long as you are doing that and excited for it, but still doing a good job here, let's figure out a schedule and a way to phase it out so that you can eventually have more time there and less time here until you reach your goal. And then you're giving me time to also hire someone in and have you train them and share your secret sauce. And then you go and fulfill your dreams.
A good leader pushes their team to be their best and supports them along the way. And sometimes that means losing your best employees to another industry. Stick around. Coming up, Naomi's going to explain to us why you shouldn't be too afraid of losing your good employees.
Were you ever selfishly maybe a little bit scared to lose that employee and push them in that direction?
Absolutely. Selfishly, yes. Nobody wants to lose a good employee, and you feel like I've invested time, I'm doing all of this. But if you're really a good leader and you're truly developing someone, you should put all that aside and really help them reach their goals. Was it easy? No. But was it satisfying, gratifying after? Absolutely. And did we keep a great relationship? You bet we did.
Naomi, what might be the unexpected benefits to a manager who pushes their employee to pursue something outside of the work that they're currently doing?
I mean, I think it's good all around. It might not be easy and it might be intuitive, but you create trust, you create a good relationship. They get to sort of leave in good terms. They get to give their secret sauce to the person coming in. And then you're also leading by example and you're showing the rest of the team members that their goals are not linear and black and white just because they have this job. A lot of people, especially that start in customer service, a lot of people just want to have a job to get financial stability to then figure out what they really want to do. So it would be blind for any leader to think that they're going to be in customer service forever, right?
So what advice would you give someone watching this who is scared to maybe develop their employees or push them to pursue their dreams because they're scared of losing great employees?
I would say try to put that aside as much as you can and put that selfish portion away and partner up with them and really help them reach their goals and have a plan so that you don't feel like you're losing someone, but you feel like you're gaining somebody else that was able to share what the person leaving was giving to your company.
Amazing. Naomi, thank you so much for joining us. If you like this video, hit subscribe. And if you have more questions about scaling your business, leave them in the comment section below and we'll bring on another Northwest expert to talk about it. See you next time.